Hey everyone, this is Dr. Smith. We're going to do a quick video on stretching. So this is the thing I tell patients and the three things I identify that everybody kind of does wrong when it comes to stretching. So I don't go through all the yoga poses. I don't go through all the different stretching simply because it is not necessary. You can find an easier way to get these stretches simply by not doing these three things, right? And I'll tell you the secret to the muscles that I have identified that work the best for fixing low back and all that stuff. But don't get caught up in the confusion of all the different stretches that you can do in yoga, right? There are just way too many of them. And I don't want you hurting yourself because you can overstretch something that goes to a joint that you've already pissed off. So the most important thing is to relax into it, understand your body. And if you do get some pain when you stretch, it's probably because it's inflamed. So if your back is inflamed and working on you, if you're working on your hip flexors and stretching these, just remember this might be the thing that was too tight that pissed off your back. But if you start stretching this, you might piss off your back because you're pulling on that. So you might have to ice this. So the more you understand how things are connected, it gets less confusing because again, if I was doing some yoga and I was just doing generic stretching and then my back hurt and then I stopped doing yoga, right? That's a problem because I didn't recognize that I did some good, but I flared the other thing up and it's as simple as just calming it down. So the more you understand your condition, your body and how it works, the better everything is. So again, three things that I identified that you really shouldn't do when you stretch. The first thing is put pressure on a joint, let the body relax so that the joint does not have to resist anything, so that the joint can just not get any kind of extra stress. Now, it's okay to do this, but I'll identify why that's kind of not a great idea. But you don't want to press down on it, is what I'm trying to say. Then your body's more concerned with other things as opposed to relaxation. You're forcing it, is what I'm trying to say. The second one is if you hold on to something and you lean forward, my body is more concerned with not falling over than it is holding on to something. So again, I can't fully commit to relaxing because my arm is holding on to something. And the last one everybody appreciates is the balance. Again, so if I'm like this and I'm trying to stretch my hip flexor, I might be able to lift it up that stretches. But as soon as I let go of my body tension, I'm going to fall over. You don't want that. You want to relax into the stretch, and there's easy ways to do this. So to do the hip flexor, what you want to do is get a table height, something that's really, really nice that when you go up, you don't have to do too much of a struggle. Don't go too low. But again, if you're in a flare up, you might have to start low. So if I'm here, guys, and my first goal is to drop that hip, I back up. The first goal is your foot placement. You do not want your foot wobbling. Everybody has different shoes. Some have different thickness, and your ankle might be wobbling because you didn't tie it really tight, those kind of things. So if I relax my pelvis, you're going to see this drop. That might be the stretch itself. But when I do that, when I relax my full body, I don't want to be in a position where I'm going to fall over. And that's important. So if I am like this and I want to intensify it a little bit more, all I do is lean backwards, bring my butt closer to my foot and lean backwards. And if my left one's up, I can lean on an angle to really stretch this out. This is the one I teach all new patients because for people with low back, it's your hip flexors that are too tight. Again, we sit all day, our pecs and our hip flexors are just way too tight. But you got to do it correctly. I want you to utilize your time correctly. That's why education and knowing how your body works is really, really important. So more to the point, if I go down on the ground and I'm like this, I'm going to stretch this, right? And if I relax, I'm going to fall over. You don't want that, but it's an easy fix if you put yourself against a table, right? So now as I relax, my body goes into the stretch and commits to really stretching this. So you're probably not getting a deep stretch if you are not in the correct position for your body to relax, right? You can apply this to anything, upper back, arms, anything. But I will say that the pecs and the hip flexors, everybody's problem. Everybody's problem when it comes to the things that are too tight, pulling on the major joints of the neck and the low back. When it comes to biomechanics, guys, start with your feet. But when it comes to stretching, right before the joint gets pissed off, you're going to look at the muscles that are being too tight based on our lifestyles. And that's going to be the pecs and the hip flexors, guys. So hope that helps. Take care.